And we're back from our little intermission there. Look at that. That is a bijou. Well, kind of a modernized bijou. And it is delicious. Okay. So, can I show this here? I think I showed the back last time. What are they going to do? Sue me? I'm plugging your product here. This is from 1970. I was 5. A bijou cocktail back then was kind of like a Negroni. It was like equal parts. Let's put a shot of gin, a shot of sweet vermouth, and a shot of chartreuse. And some orange bitters. Okay. Except chartreuse is very strong medicine. Okay? It's herbalicious, but it's a lot of herbs, and it's 110 proof. Picture like maybe Benedictine on steroids. So I doctored a little bit. You up the gin to an ounce and a half of gin, and then like an ounce of sweet vermouth. That's plenty because it's kind of medicine too. And only half a shot of chartreuse. Some folks do this with a Negroni as well because Campari's pretty powerful stuff. Can be overwhelming. Well, that is just perfect the way it is, so I'm not even going to try it with equal parts because that's just too much. Part 2 of our giant spider double feature brings us a little closer to modern times. Actually, no. The 70s is closer to the 50s than it is to now. It pains me to say that, but it's true. I don't know what I got over here. It's like I can see some hair out the corner of my eye. Let me fix my do here. Get the glare off that. Creeping, clawing, crushing. The giant spider invasion. I don't even know what that means. What the hell? So I'm not even going to say it. There's a little banner across the bottom of this poster that, I have no idea. Oh, it's a production company. Group One presents Group One's amazing new super sensation. Okay, there you go, Group One. Now you're right on par with Mr. Boston, and I'm like plugging your product. Starring Steve Brody. I don't know who that is, but he's the biggest star. Barbara Hale, Leslie Parrish, Alan Hale Jr., and Robert Easton. So he's not the biggest star, but he was the top billed star at the time. And we don't need to look at that again because it's not the greatest poster I've ever seen. It's typical. It looks like a freaking Irwin Allen disaster film poster. The Giant Spider Invasion, 1975. Cinema Group 75. Kind of sounds like that was made up for 1975, doesn't it? Well, I was the copyright holder, so. Starring Barbara Hale. Yes, Barbara Hale from Perry Mason. You know what? Charlie and I watched Svengoolie over the weekend, and every person in the movie, and I can't remember the title of it right now. It was kind of a teenage werewolf movie, but like on a movie set where the makeup guy was getting back at the studio. Forgive me, I don't know the title. But everybody in that movie was on Perry Mason. And Sven made a point of that. Well, Barbara Hale and Alan Hale Jr. No relation, I don't believe. But you know him. That's right. The skipper. I don't even have to say the skipper from what, do I? Okay, here we are in Redneckville, Wisconsin. I think it was Wisconsin. And this angry Christian asshole is two-timing his alcoholic wife with some trailer trash down the street. Okay, when I was in the circus, I lived in Gibtown, and I lived in a trailer court. There was the Bullfrog for a while, and I don't remember the name of the other one. I don't even know if it had a sign. But this sounds like exactly what would be going on with my neighbors in Gibtown. And maybe my ex-wife. I don't know. Well, we'll get into that later. You say, which ex-wife, Murph? Well, the Charlie's mom. Number 5. So, this angry Christian asshole, I know that's hard to picture, but frankly, there are a lot more of those now than there was in 1975. Well, one night he is coming home from a revival, and he and his drunk wife see a meteor come crashing to Earth. All the while, we're intercutting between the meteor crashing to Earth and a manic tent preacher, not a manic street preacher, manic tent preacher, is going on about hellfire and damnation. Like they do. And I wrote here, is this supposed to make me want to go to church? Well, probably not. In the 70s, everybody was like, fuck church. Which, of course, led to Reagan in the 80s bringing church back into the government. And here we are. Well, the next morning, Angry and Alky, that's their names now, go looking for the meteor while their teenage daughter lounges around in short shorts and a halter top. You know, just for the drive-in so that somebody like crashes their car when they see that on the screen up there. We'll pretend like said teenage daughter is of age. Even though it's the 70s and she likely wasn't. The actress was, though, because she was probably 25 and playing a 14-year-old. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Well, what they find when they go looking for the meteor is a big hole in the ground and some odd round stones, which they gather and bring home. Well, wouldn't you know it, one of the rocks cracks open, and it's full of diamonds. But what they didn't see was the large tarantula pop out of there before, leaving the diamonds behind. Angry takes the diamonds to his cousin, who says they are industrial grade. I suspect, so he can rip off Angry. Those aren't jewelry grade diamonds. The best we could hope with these is to grind them down and make them drill bit. Well, it doesn't really matter. Back at the farm, Alki finds a 3-foot spider in the drawer. And the house crawling with spiders and a 50-foot spider outside. I told you we'd get to the giant spiders. By now, the sheriff, or skipper, or sheriff, the sheriff, Alan Hale Jr., is trying to keep the townsfolk from going anarchist on his ass. And Della Street, Barbara Hale, and now a doctor. Yeah, she moved up from Perry Mason. Now she's a doctor. Good job, Barbara. Is figuring out all the bad science to go with the giant spider without Perry. We don't need Perry. Wait, by now, Perry is Ironsides anyway. He's like in a wheelchair. I don't know what happened to him in between Perry Mason and Ironsides, but he's in a wheelchair now. Yeah, this is really in the movie. Okay. But how to kill a 50-foot spider? Well, really more of a 50-foot parade float with mechanical arms. Yeah, shaped like a spider. The director was very careful to never show the bottom of the spider, I wrote here. They would have been better off superimposing a spider like tarantula. But it was the 70s. They thought they had to go robot on us. Pardon me. This had all the hallmarks of a 70s made-for-TV feature. Although, I don't believe this was a made-for-TV movie. I believe this was an actual movie based on the poster. Take it from Wisconsin, and there's still a question mark there. Take it from Wisconsin to the South Pacific, and you've got a hell of an episode of Gilligan's Island. With the skipper as sheriff. Okay, like our last feature. 3. Another 3-ring circus tonight on the Late Night Picture Show with giant spider invasion. Wait, the giant spider invasion. 1975. Okay. Do we want to pick another movie from the bucket? You know what? I'm not going to do it. Next weekend, we are going to have an Anna Biller double feature with Viva and The Love Witch. Let me just tell you. I'd say scotch for breakfast, but there's no scotch in this. It's just gin. But I love Anna Biller. And we're going to have an Anna Biller double feature. God damn it. Because I don't have time to write it all down. I put it in this bucket. So, tune in next week for our special Anna Biller double feature here on the Late Night Picture Show. I'm Murph the Clown. Now, if you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a thumbs down. Leave some comments. Talk smack about me. I don't care. Good night, kids.